This is Three Cranky Jets Fans, where we cover all things Jets. I'm Joe Close-Marone, and here with me are Trisha Close-Marone and Matt Callahan. Today we are talking about Jets versus Bills reactions. Then there's just a truckload of news going on with the Jets, including trade for Devante Adams. We'll get to all that. Finally, we'll preview Jets and Steelers on Sunday Night Football. Lord Almighty, will we ever get a Sunday afternoon game again? I don't know. I know it's coming, but God help me. I can't take this anymore with these primetime games. Trisha, Matt, how are you both?
Go ahead, Matt.
I'm good. I'm okay.
Are you?
How are you?
Yeah.
I think that was the most wordy response we've ever gotten from Matt.
I want to answer with Matt's response. Yeah, I'm fine. Okay. No, it's a lot. It's a lot. I feel like
Stuff going on.
Yeah, I feel like probably at a Jets all-time low. You know, this week was rough. And of course, I think, on a personal side too, we are back home now, and both Joe and I work from home, so we don't get out a ton, but when we do go out, it's like a constant reminder of what's happening in our town, and it's sad and it's hard, and I just kind of want to hole up and stay in a cave. So
Thank you, Jets, for making it worse.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it feels like that. It feels like, oh my gosh. I thought oh, we got Starlink and we're going to get to go home and watch the Jets. And it's just, I don't even know. I can't go back in time. So yeah, that's how I'm doing. How about you, Joe?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. It's, as far as the Jets are concerned, it's like one thing after the next. They know how to keep us talking. They let us down, or build us up, then let us down, build us up, let us down. So
I'm sorry. When did you get built up? Recently?
Oh, there's been movement all over the place. Come on. But let's get
Matt,
into
do you
it.
know what he's talking about? Getting built up? Do you feel built up?
Maybe the Patriots victory, perhaps, but that was it.
It was like weeks ago.
Well, I think maybe I'm the most optimistic of the three of us. Well, last week and now this week are both wild weeks in the Jets organization. Every week is a wild week, it seems like, but they're just getting crazier and crazier. Woody Johnson fired Robert Saleh, replaced him with Jeff Ulbrich. Then Ulbrich relieved Nathaniel Hackett of his play calling duties, which was essentially firing him, and Todd Downing took over that role. Devante Adams trade rumors were all over the place, and ultimately that trade has been made now. Hassan Reddick is still being talked about and has hired a new agency to represent him, and supposedly will come in if he can't find a trade. It's craziness going on with this organization, but let's talk about Jets versus Bills. Recap this game quickly. Final score 23-20. Bills over Jets. Predictions. Trisha, you predicted 24-16 Jets. I predicted 28-23 Jets, and Matt 21-28 Bills. You got the winner right. None of us got the score. I will say I was close though. If the Jets had gotten that touchdown that they should have had a bogus holding call, would have been really close. Anyway, there was a lot in this game. It was, especially the second half, was just unbearable to watch with these penalties and kind of dumb mistakes. I want to get your guys' reaction before I say anything else. Matt, why don't you go ahead and tell us, what did you see? What did you like? What didn't you like?
I don't know what I liked. Rodgers seems okay for the most part. I think that was his best game. Was it as a Jet?
Arguably. It was his
Though
most
there was
yards. I think he
still,
went
like,
289 or 294.
some missed throws, especially right at the end. That last throw was underthrown, I thought.
It was so Mike Williams was not where he was supposed to be, and Rodgers was trying to adjust on the fly. Yeah, that's what he said about that. But yeah, I mean he could do better for sure.
Hall had a decent game, I think, finally.
Yeah,
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Though he should have gotten in on that touchdown.
He should have run
what he
inside
was
on
doing.
that. Yeah,
The penalties were awful on everything. Like Jets penalties, Bills penalties, and the refs making some bad calls as well. Like everybody sucked in the second half completely.
yeah. 22 penalties overall. I think it was like over 200 yards.
It was
of
over
penalties.
200 yards in penalties. I knew that.
It's gotta be some kind of record.
The only reason that game was close is because I think the Bills weren't playing that well either. Like didn't see a lot from the Jets to me that impressed. And they should have left Greg the Leg in London and not brought him back to the States.
Oh my gosh. He ruined it.
2 games now, right?
Yeah. I don't want to
Yes,
see
2
his
games.
face again. I don't want to see his little face again. I'm done with him. Please tell me we have another kicker just ready to go.
I did
Not yet.
read they worked out 3 different kickers this week, I think. But
I think the 3 of us have a better chance right now. I'm like, I'm so frustrated with that kicker. Oh.
so
Yeah, and the ones that he
what else
missed
did you
were,
think?
I mean, one of them was rough for sure.
Yeah, but I mean the doink off that was
The second
opposite
one,
way.
there was no wind. I mean,
Even if there
was
is
rough.
wind, like your job is to kick the ball. So you train for wind, you train for cold and sleet and snow and hot. Like you just kick the ball over and over and over, and you make up scenarios in which you kick the ball in a tornado. Like I am so not okay with like there was wind. It sounds just there's a huge space they get to put that ball between. You know, why is he so close to the sides anyway? Anybody?
I don't know. I don't know all the intricacies of kicking.
Yeah, you just move your leg up and down. That's it. You just move your leg up and down.
I mean, he should have made at least one of those kicks. But
Yeah.
if he makes both of them, we win this game. Beyond that, I mean, Trisha, I don't want to cut in front of you. Go ahead with.
I'm
Any
going to
other
say what I
thoughts that you
liked
had?
about this game. I'm going to say what I liked about it. I liked that it was tied up, and like I felt like just for a bit that we really did have a chance. I also loved that ridiculously long Hail Mary touchdown, right? And I don't know if it's played or broadcasted the same everywhere, but right, we're watching. I guess it is. Is it? Should I say that?
Yeah,
Like, does
yeah.
everyone?
Oh, are you talking about the commentary right before?
Oh yeah, I'm talking about the
Joe
commentary.
Buck and Troy Aikman were talking about it right before the play happened, and how Aaron
Not only
Rodgers
talking
is
about it, they
like showing footage. Yeah,
they show footage of like his career of these Hail Mary passes, and then he does it. Like, I'm just like, how did that happen? So that was a highlight of this game for me. That was a fun moment to watch for sure.
yeah. Things like that don't happen for the Jets historically. That was incredible to see. I think I turned to you at one point during this game and said, the laws of physics want the Jets to win this game, and somehow they still find a way to lose it.
Yeah.
I will say I had a lot of things to like when I looked back on this game. I thought the offense between the 20s played well. Really, they should have had another touchdown on this with that Braylon Allen run. I thought that call was ticky-tacky. It didn't affect the play at all. This officiating crew was just horrendous. Everybody has that opinion, so that's not a hot take at all. Both sides of the ball, it just really was bad. Even Aaron Rodgers was like, that roughing the passer call on me was not roughing the passer. And he felt the same way about the one on Allen, but they were, I mean, I'm sure he's going to get fined for saying that because NFL players are not allowed to criticize the officiating, and
Oh,
he
really?
called them out on it. Yeah. So
What was that whole?
it was bad.
I don't know who number 4 is, but was
DJ
there
Reed.
okay? So was there a flag thrown for him questioning the call during the game?
Yeah, he had. I mean, one of them I think was a defensive pass interference. It's
You
going to
mean the one
happen.
he got for yelling at the ref after
Uh-huh.
the play?
That was Kinlaw.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was not him. That was the other guy.
Okay.
Kinlaw was being a dummy. I mean, he got the
I'm sure
roughing
he
the
was
passer.
frustrated. I'm sure
Yeah.
he was frustrated.
He got the one roughing the passer call. That was unfortunate, but then he exacerbated the situation by talking. And he's got to rein it in. You know, offensively, I thought the play calling was better. Things were opened up. You could see pass blocking was an issue, especially on the left side with Tyron Smith of all people.
What did you guys think about the defense last week?
They fucking sucked. They were terrible. It was bad. I mean, every team should just throw in their backup running back and let them go for 150 every week against this team. Their running defense is terrible. They need help on this defensive line. It's so bad. I don't know what they're going to do about that.
I was worried last week. I was like, oh, this Jeff Ulbrich, he's got defense as his thing. Like, we're going to get offensively screwed, is what I thought. And then I watched the first 10 minutes and I was like, oh, okay. Like, doesn't matter who your coach is if your defense just doesn't have it together. I guess. I thought we blamed everything on coaching, and then I feel like that's not true. It's just the Jets.
Yeah. The defense did its normal thing where they start slow and gave up their customary 17 points like right away.
Yeah.
And then they gave up an extra 6 on top of that. Because they only gave up 3 points in the second half, which was great considering they looked kind of like garbage in the beginning. But, I mean, that's the never-ending story with this team is you get a free 17 on us in the first 20 minutes of the game. And
it's crazy.
Then we'll tighten up. So, and that's why it's always a race to 20 points, it feels like, on offense. But I figured the Bills are going to get a little bit more than that. They play each other frequently, so it makes sense that they would. And they're traditionally a high-powered offense over the last 5 years, so I gave them credit for extra. And that's exactly what the Jets gave them. I predicted 23 for the Bills, and that's exactly what they got. But
it's crazy.
They should have really done better because they were missing some players on the Bills' offense, and they're not a high-powered offense right now. Not super impressive. So it was definitely an underperformance, and there were some mental lapses, in my opinion.
The Jets are 2-4, and this time last year they were 3-3.
Yeah.
Let that sink in.
Well, let that sink in. Let's put this game behind us, I think.
Can we put this behind? Like, just all of us were so enthusiastic.
No, I wasn't.
I was enthusiastic about the season.
Matt
and
knew
to
they were
hear
going
that,
well, that's your mistake.
to let that sink in, right? Like, they were 2-4. This was the one. This was the moment.
This was the moment. Yeah. I mean,
that's like, no, it wasn't the moment.
No, I went in thinking they were going to lose, and they still somehow disappointed me.
Yeah, right? I know. It's because they got our anticipation up during the game with that tied score. And they just kept shit in the bed. It would have worked. You don't, like, even when it was tied up, you didn't have a moment of...
No.
Wow.
Maybe when they were going to go for that last kick.
Uh-huh.
I texted my friend Naaman and said if he misses this kick, and then he freaking doinked it.
Yeah.
and I couldn't even say anything anymore.
Yeah, that was brutal.
I don't know if I texted both of you guys this or if I just texted it to Joe, but I was like, I think we need a new hobby. Like,
Oh, you did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you did.
like this is really an already challenging time in the world. This is pretty depressing.
That one did hurt.
What else is going on in the NFL though? I'm so curious. Is anybody else happier anywhere else?
No. The Dolphins were on a bye week. They're 2-3, and head coach Mike McDaniel is saying that he expects Tua to play at some point this season, but has no timeline right now.
Probably right in time to play against the Jets and
Probably
destroy them.
Yeah.
I think you could just write that in right now. That's his return. And the Patriots lost again. They are now 1-5 and officially terrible.
Durable.
Horrible. The Bills traded with the Browns to acquire wide receiver Amari Cooper. And speaking of trades, the Jets traded for Devante Adams finally. They gave up a conditional third-round pick, then become a second-round pick if Adams makes first or second team All-Pro, or the Jets make it to the AFC title game.
Wow.
None of that shit's happening.
Yeah, so I guess
So
it'll be we gave up a third-round pick for Devante Adams, who is currently staying with Aaron Rodgers, I read, while he finds a place to live.
Yeah, they're sleeping together. They're having.
Yep.
I mean, not sleeping together, but they're having a sleepover, slumber party. He took a red-eye flight from Vegas and went straight to Aaron Rodgers' house in the middle of the night.
That's kind of fun. Amazing.
I saw. Did you see the clip of Rodgers on Pat McAfee today?
I just saw that he was.
Was it today or yesterday? I can't remember.
Yesterday, I think he was showed up behind him or something, or
yeah. So
walked in on.
I watched it. Rodgers doing his. It's a weekly interview they do, and he gets paid for that. But he's at his house doing the interview and nods, and that I guess that's how it was officially announced. I can't remember. But Devante Adams walks in. They're having a slumber party. They're all grins over there, Aaron Rodgers and Devante.
It's wild.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. I thought it was funny.
So where are we with Hassan Reddick?
Yeah, what's going on with Hassan Reddick? Honestly, that name kind of went in the background for a little bit. I heard his agent dropped him.
Yeah, so CAA was the agency that represented him previously. He fired them supposedly because they were telling him to report to the Jets facility.
Oh, surprise, surprise.
Yeah, I mean...
Go to work.
Advising your client not to lose tens of millions of dollars. Crazy. That's a fireable offense. Anyway, he did hire, I think, Rosenhaus is the agent, I believe his name is. And supposedly the Jets have given him permission to seek a trade for a limited period. And if that doesn't pan out, he may report to the Jets and finally play. I don't know what the deal is, but the Lions have shown interest in him because they lost their superstar defensive end to a gruesome broken leg.
Yeah.
Did you see that? It was just
I'm glad
flopping.
I was not. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't see that.
That was really sad
terrible.
to see.
I had the game on, but I wasn't paying attention. And when I heard the announcer said, "We will not show that again," I was like, "Oh, that's bad."
Oh no!
I did see it. It's really bad. So
That's
they're looking
terrible.
for an edge rusher, and Hassan Reddick is one. So there is a market for him.
Wait, so the Jets were like, "Go ahead, get traded if you want to be traded." They
I don't
finally
know that they
gave up.
necessarily want him anymore, even though they're desperate for help in that position. But I don't know that they trust his personality to come in at this point.
Didn't he come out and say he's always wanted to be a Jet or something? Or no? I don't know where I heard that.
He did say he supposedly his agent said that he wants to be a Jet for years to come.
That's
But
what I
that's
heard.
just
but I don't
things
listen to
people
anything
say.
like that.
That's just things people say when they're trying to recoup their millions that he's not earning every
Yeah.
week or whatever.
Um,
Right?
we'll see what happens with that. That's just a slow moving process, I think. I mean, it would be awesome if he suddenly reports, and because they do need help. But if he shows up and is a pain in the ass in the locker room, fuck him. I don't want him here. This locker room is very fragile right now with all these losses and moves that have happened. You're going to really start turning players off if you start bringing people in that are disgruntled to begin with. I don't want them necessarily.
I can't imagine his teammates are going to be real warm fuzzy at this point.
No, he's part of the problem. If he showed
Yeah.
up and contributed, they might be flipping this number now 4-2, or even 5-1.
And he's not come out and said any reason like why he doesn't want to play.
He didn't want to play on the current deal that he's under contract on. That's the only reason.
So he just doesn't want to play at all?
He wants a long-term extension or a new contract. He thinks he's worth like $25 million a year. This year he was due, I think, like $14 million, something like that. So he just wanted a raise and an extension for security. And that makes sense, but they're not the team that has had you playing for them the past 3 years. Philadelphia didn't want you. Your past teams didn't want you. Clearly, there's something wrong with the guy.
Yeah.
That we're not seeing on the field. And I think this whole saga is showing us exactly what that is. He's got a personality flaw. So, peace out. You know, if you don't want to be here, then go away. find some other place that wants you. But if he wants to like really buckle up, and he's got to just shut his mouth if he comes in.
Maybe he could like volunteer at the local Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah, he's got to do it.
No,
because his reputation is garbage right now. He's
I'm just saying, like no, like actual team wants him because he's having a hard time.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
His reputation off the field is also really in question. Apparently, he had some business dealings with a home health agency that he purchased, and his parents ran, and the business partner that they hired to save the business, he stiffed for millions of dollars, and there's a lawsuit now about it. And it's this guy's reputation is in the gutter right now. So if anybody brings him in, he needs to come in quietly and do everything he can to save that reputation, or go to another market that's much more forgiving. New York is hard.
Yeah.
All the bullshit that you do comes out. It's like running for president, except there's 53 guys that they're paying attention to, plus coaches. So, I mean, you can't mess around. So that's Hassan Reddick. I think we spent too much time on it.
We spent more time talking about him than he
spent too much time on it, really.
Well, we spent more time talking about him than he spent playing
Seriously.
this season. That's pretty wild.
Exponentially more time. The Devante Adams news. I wasn't excited about it to start. I'm not like fully excited about it still, because pass protection's been getting worse and worse every week. With this offensive line, but I do think it'll help to a degree open up Garrett Wilson. I mean, somebody's going to be open, it feels like, with this receiving core now. Mike Williams is probably going to get traded because I don't know what his role is, but it's going to be Devante Adams, Garrett Wilson, and Alan Lazard. And that was one thing about the Bills-Jets game. Alan Lazard it feels like he's streaky with these. I think he might have had a drop, but he has some clutch plays too.
Yeah.
It's hard. Like, you go from loving to hating this guy at the drop of a hat. But man, that Hail Mary was clutch. I think he had another clutch play for a first down. And I don't know. He's definitely going to be that third wide receiver, I think. Mike Williams and Aaron Rodgers have not been on the same page.
Yeah, he had a few drops last game, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just wasn't in it.
One really obvious one.
Yeah.
One like what is it called? You put it in the basket or something? Aaron Rodgers put it in his little basket and he just dropped it. There was no bread in his basket when he looked up. I was like, whoa, buddy, that's your job.
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear Matt's thoughts on Devante Adams because I know my own thoughts. And
why not at this point? I don't think that's like, I don't know. I don't think they gave up a lot, so fine. They gave up a third-round pick, and if it helps Aaron Rodgers throw better, then I'm all for it.
All right. Well, that's a glowing review that I didn't. I mean, honestly, you guys both are more enthusiastic.
Glowing review.
Trisha just wants to trash the Jets. And
It's
be like,
okay.
I'm so upset. I'm like,
fuck the Jets. I'm moving.
Seriously. Oh my gosh. I'm just like, why are they going to make Devante Adams' life miserable?
Well, I did say, like,
he wanted to come here.
He left one clown show, the Raiders, to a new clown show, the Jets.
He said he asked to come here.
I mean, what a fool. He and Aaron Rodgers think that they can fix the Jets.
I will say Aaron Rodgers hasn't been the problem.
No.
He's played decent. He's had missed throws, but like that's normal. Everybody does.
Anyway, that last week I'm jaded. Let's talk about next week. Can we do that?
Yeah, let's move along.
Let's talk about next week. So next week we're going to play in Pittsburgh. I don't know how, but the Jets are 1.5 points favorites on the road, and the Steelers are expected to switch their starting quarterback to Russell Wilson. So their head coach he insisted all summer that he would be the starter, but injury sidelined him for the start of the season, and Fields has not been impressive. So we're going to see this kind of play out on the field next week. It'll be interesting to see what Wilson has to offer this offense. It's mostly been ineffective so far, what we have seen, but things are about to change. So I'm curious to see how that shakes out for us. In terms of what the Jets need to do, I don't know. I usually have some thoughts. At this point, I'm like, they need to hold the ball, run the ball, pass the ball, not drop the ball. like YMCA, they need to play football. I mean, stop with the crazy penalties and YMCA. Just right. Like we got to go back to the basics with these guys. Yeah. What do you offensively? What are you guys thinking? We need to pull out this week to actually have a chance.
What do you think, Matt?
I think they have to start off the game playing. And defense too, like actually start the game ready to play. Stop the stupid penalties. Like I'd like one game without a lot of stupid penalties from this team.
But it's so basic, right? I mean, I'm being silly when I'm saying like
just play
hold the ball, pass the ball, run the ball, but like that's it. They just need to come out ready to play. But in terms of like what can we predict? Because the Steelers defense is great. So are we going to see a running game? Are we going to see a passing game? What do you guys think it's going to look like this week?
I don't know where they're going to start. The Steelers defense is like top tier. It's going to be hard to run the ball against them. That defensive line is tough. It may help for the Jets to run some quick pass plays, maybe like a jet sweep or some screens, stuff like that, just to get a little bit of movement and then open up the run game. They're just going to, like you said, kind of like keep their fundamentals straight. Like you have to do everything perfect and then not have stupid mental lapses because this defense is not going to let you get away with that. They're going to need to score. I mean, they don't need to score a lot, really. The Steelers' offense has been garbage. I mean, we talked about, or you mentioned Wilson being named supposedly being named the starter. He's getting first team reps for practice this week. They haven't officially declared anything to my knowledge, but that is essentially he's going to start. So we're kind of getting an unscouted look. Don't really know what to expect from him. The last time he played, he was fine. He was okay, nothing great. He's not as mobile as Justin Fields was.
I mean, what I know is the Steelers are going to try to run the ball exclusively, right? So
Probably.
We've just got to be ready for that. But this seems like for the Jets, this is our weakest area of defense. So we've got to get their shit together.
Yeah.
Right?
They really do. I mean, yeah, you show us a shitty running back and we'll give you 100 extra yards, essentially, is what it feels like with this team.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Who's going to win it? What's it going to look like?
Matt, what do you got?
I have the Jets 10, the Steelers 17.
Really?
What do you have?
This is absolutely a must-win for me.
Or what? You gonna be a Pats fan? What's the plan?
No, I mean, if they lose this game, I'm officially out for this season. I think they're not making the playoffs.
Do you really want them to win? You think that we can win?
I think that we can win, yeah.
Okay.
The Steelers team it's amazing to me that they've won what they've won. Yes, they are disciplined and they're winning games because they have an amazing coaching staff and they're keeping everybody under wraps, essentially. There's no mental lapses. There's none of that here. That's how they win games, is they play sound football. But the offense is trash. This is probably the best defense they're going to face or have faced to this point.
What do you think score-wise?
I'm going to say I could almost flip Matt's score and give the Steelers 10, and I feel like that's being generous.
So you have Jets 17, Steelers 10?
Yeah, I'm going to just flip it.
Okay. Well, I just pulled up the weather in Pittsburgh on Sunday.
It's supposed to be nice, I think.
It's supposed to be nice. It looks like a high of 70 and sunny, but we're going to be playing in the evening, so it's a low of 39. Okay. I feel like if I don't have the Jets winning, it's going to be hard on my relationship with my husband.
You pick whatever you want.
Because I just saw how he turned on his very, very close friend for you fucker fucky.
He's all the way. He's 700 miles away.
I'm joking. Let's. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. Okay. I think the Steelers are going to have 7 points. And I think the Jets are going to have 10 points.
That's low scoring. Mm-hmm. You sure you're predicting a Jets win? I will say the Jets are road favorites by 1.5 points.
Yeah, who came up with that?
I don't know. Did you say that? I missed it.
I said it, but
who? Yeah, Trisha said it earlier, but I was thinking who came up with those odds? Because that's
I've never heard of that before. Really,
sucker.
But
bad.
I mean, just after watching what we've been watching, I feel like these ESPN predictions are just like some AI bot at this point.
It's meant to represent. That's how bad their offense has been. It's been bad.
Yeah.
But they've been winning games, so it's weird.
Yeah, 4-2.
Yeah.
4-2. No. Is that right?
They really shouldn't be.
Hold on. Wait, say that again?
The Steelers are 4-2, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. And we are
2-4.
2-4. Anyway, that's it, guys. That's what we've got for this week. Joe, get us out of here.
All right, guys. That's going to wrap up episode number 7. How you guys feeling about 7 episodes?
Lucky number 7. I didn't know I'd be.
Has anybody recognized you on the streets?
No.
Well, we don't do video.
But I haven't been on the streets much.
Has the fame gotten to your heads?
It's
The tens of listeners that we have.
yeah.
We love you guys. You keep showing up for us, all 10 of you. Mom, thanks for being here. No, I'm joking.
She's not listening.
She's not listening.
Too much cursing.
Yeah, I did not know I would feel this low by the time we got to episode 7. So
It can get lower.
Well,
we'll see you next week for that, guys. We'll see you next
All right.
week.
Let's get out of here. Thanks for hanging with us on Three Cranky Jets Fans. If you enjoyed the episode, or if you didn't, whatever, like and subscribe. Give us a review. That's good. Be sure to follow us on social media at Three Cranky Jets Fans for updates, takes, and reactions. We will be back next week, no matter what, to break down all things win or lose. Until then, in the words of Aaron Rodgers, cherish the little things. Bye, guys.
Take it easy.